Okay, scoot in a little bit more. Don't move the bed too much. A little bit more. Struggle much?
Shut up.
Okay. Hey. Hey, babies.
What are we even talking about?
Give me my bear.
Is it filming?
Mm-hmm.
I want some! Well, what are you gonna do? Screw it back on, Jess? It's not a screw on, screw off.
Tyler, shut up. Okay, guys. So,
High life.
it's like one of our favorite beers. Is it super cheap? It's a pretty cheap beer, huh?
Yeah, it's very cheap.
Yeah, it's a very cheap beer, but we just like it.
I wasn't a big,
Light beer fan.
yeah, I wasn't a big light beer fan for a long time, but my stepdad is a huge High Life guy, and I think my brother really likes them now too. But anyways, my stepdad started drinking these all the time, and I just started liking them because he started drinking them all the time. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, we are. Okay, guys. So welcome back to our, I guess, new home YouTube series.
Welcome to Bailey and Brews.
That could be a thing. That really could be a thing. Every single time that we do a video, we can like drink a new beer.
Bailey and Brews.
And maybe like
The
beer
Baileys
brands.
and Brew.
Beer brands will start sponsoring our YouTube channels. But anyways, so this episode or video or whatever, we're going to be talking about how we got to the point of even purchasing a home and meeting our realtor. We're going to introduce her a little bit later in the video. I'm going to hang out with her and we're just going to talk about everything that she's done. And then, yeah, so why are your socks black? This is like still. Okay. Can you stop grabbing it from me? Okay, so here's the tea that, well, okay, we've talked about this before. I've even done a blog post about it, like right after we got married, but here's the tea, guys.
I live with my in-laws.
We still live with my parents.
Is that supposed to be, that's disgusting. Look at the top.
Why?
It's full of
Lipstick?
Yeah, it's gross.
Perfect, now you won't drink my beer.
She never finishes her beers.
This whole time, yes, we have been living in the house that I grew up in. So, long story boring, after we got married, Tyler was in between looking at jobs. He was like applying to a bunch of different cities, counties, like all over the place. So we weren't going to move somewhere and then he get a job in like a completely different county. It just didn't make any sense. So our house and where I live now was still central to like everything. So my parents were like, look, you know, we have this addition, which was already here when I grew up. My grandparents lived on this side of the house. But we already have this addition. We have to remodel it before we sell it because nothing has been done to this side since it was built in like, oh my gosh, the 90s or 80s, I think, or 70s even. I don't know. It's been a long
60s? 50s?
So
40s even?
Shut up. So she was like, how about we redo this side, you guys just kick it here for a couple years and then save up money and then move out then. So we're like, okay, right? All right, so fast forward 2 years. When 2020 started, we were like, okay.
3 years.
3 years. When 2020 started, or end of 2019, we're like, okay, cool. We're going to move, we're gonna start looking at homes, and we were dead set on like East Side Costa Mesa area. Like, we totally just love the area. Rock Harbor was there. We had like our life group from our church there, and we were just always there. And his mom lived in Huntington too. So it was like, I feel like we were just always there.
Well, and plus we really love the beach a lot, and so our goal is just to live by the water because we just really enjoy being down by the beach. So I think we consider ourselves like a beach family without being at the beach all the time.
Yeah, definitely.
So we really wanted to do that, but I think it was like, I don't know, once started really getting solidified in my career, and then pretty recently, I guess, earlier in the year. I think we started just realizing, and God started putting on our hearts, like, I don't think the beach is really where...
Well, not even that. It was just...
really where he wants us at.
2020 in general, we're like, okay, there's no way we're moving. Like, I took a really big hit March, April, and half of May with work. And so I was like, this is just not working. So we pretty much just like, just so much changed, like so much in this year changed, right? So we literally were like, let's just cancel the idea. We won't even start looking again until like end of 2020, maybe early 2021. But we're just gonna kick it here for like another year, which was fine. Like, I just didn't want to stay here. Not that I don't like being here, but we really wanted like our own home, you know?
Jess sees it from like I think you see it more from like a business standpoint. I see it more from like I just started realizing that God just didn't want us down there. I think it was just in my heart that
I know that too, but I'm talking about before, like, we even came to that conclusion. Like, in the summer, we were just like, yeah, we're not moving because, like, this is a joke. Like, nothing good is gonna happen. But we had been looking for almost a year already, just at listings, and even then, like, there was nothing that we saw. We saw one home out of the last 14 months of looking that we liked in Costa Mesa. And
no, but it wasn't, I'm not even talking about that though. I'm saying, that's what I'm saying. You see it from you're seeing it from a different perspective. I'm seeing it from, it doesn't matter how many homes were available or not. God just did not want us there. And that's how I felt. Not like that though. That's disgusting. I'm done.
Oh, that was stinky. Sorry.
Yeah, you're rude.
Anyways. Yeah, so.
So you get.
It really is.
Jerk.
Every single time I burp in his face, he'll fart on me after. But, I mean, yeah, no, that too. He closed doors. Like, there is no way. Number one, Costa Mesa, Orange County in general is so darn expensive. And the lots are so small, the homes are super old. They were like so much for a total gut job. And like with me, with my line of work, like I have very specifics. Like even growing up or just getting older, like I always knew like my home, aside from work, I had like a few requirements, but now doing what I do now, I'm like, okay, I actually have a lot more requirements. You know, I need like a lot of natural light. I like tall ceilings. Like I just need a lot of windows and space, and kind of just like even where our spot right now is sitting, the sun, like it just doesn't catch a lot of sun. So it's really hard to shoot things. I don't get a lot of time in my office to film because of lighting. So it's just a lot of those things. But yeah. And so instead of east side, I was like, okay, like let me just keep moving a little bit more inland. So I started looking at like Anaheim, Orange, Yorba Linda, and like still just like nothing we liked, you know? So
again, this is all her looking. I never was really looking. I just knew we weren't living anywhere over there. So to me, this is all kind of news to me, because in my heart I was like, well, yeah, we're not living here, so it doesn't really matter. I was like, I already know what's going to happen. I can feel it in my heart. We're not living any of these cities.
I literally spent hours, like every day, just looking at home. Like, I mean, I love looking at homes though. I was even looking at homes in other states, like in Texas,
looking at homes everywhere, and
Arizona.
I was just like, cool. I don't know what to tell you.
It's like, you're crazy.
Yeah, I don't know what to tell you. Even like in Anaheim and Orange, I'm like, all right, sweet, going to work, bye.
Oh my God. But yeah, so anyways, fast forward to early fall. This was like end of August, early September. And we were starting to hang out with his friends more, and his friends, or his buddy's wife, is a realtor. But we weren't even like, I knew she was a realtor and I had spoken to her about homes and stuff, but it was never like a, hey, we're gonna use you, like, let's get this thing going. I just was picking her brain here and there, and we're like, okay, yeah, we maybe want to look next year. But you know, at that point I was like, I need to buying a home for dummies, start reading up on it. You know, we were just like, whatever, we have time now, we're not in a rush, we didn't care. And then I just started looking at homes kind of like where her and like another couple live that we are really close to now. And I just started looking in like random neighborhoods kind of like in that general area. And the home that we bought, I saw the listing for it. And I mean, for me, it checked off everything on my list. I had not seen one home literally in any state too that I had looked where it was like everything I wanted, like my must-need list, which was 1-story home. I hate stairs with a passion. 1-story home, tall ceilings, tons of natural light, and it sits where the sun is continuously like coming through and I'm not getting any blind spots. Yeah, that was kind of like, those were just my requirements for a home. And it was it, like that was it. It was literally perfect. Oh, and symmetry. I love symmetry. And I saw it and I was like, oh my God. And I showed you the listing and you were like, hell no.
It wasn't because I was hell no. I was just like, no, like, just not the time.
Yeah, like we were just like, it's not the time.
I'm gonna let her continue to speak on her perspective. My perspective is completely different from hers, so.
Oh, whatever.
This is her story right now.
So, anyways, I saw this house and kind of like, well, actually it was behind your back. I hit up Marissa and...
Behind my back. Stop burping. It's disgusting. Be a woman.
So I sent Maressa the listing and I was like, dude, like this is dope. Because I had just been sending her homes, you know, here and there, and she's like, oh, it's not really worth it. I was just, again, like picking her brain, letting her kind of guide me through. And she's like, okay, well, you know what? Like, I actually know the listing agent. How about we just check out the house? Like, even if you guys aren't getting it, I think it is a good time for you guys to just start going to open houses to see what you like, don't like about homes. Like, once you start doing the tours, you're gonna have a way better idea of like necessities that you for sure need on your checklist. So we're like, okay, whatever, like, let's go. And I told my mom, I'm like, hey, so I showed her the house. She freaked out too, and she's like, you're crazy, but whatever. So this happened on a Monday. Monday night, I sent Marissa the listing. No, it does matter. Tuesday, she was like, hey, okay, like, let's get you scheduled. We can go see the house tomorrow. So I'm like, oh my gosh, okay. So comes Wednesday, we go to see the house. And I fell in love. I mean, I don't know. You were probably still just like, you were way in over your head on this whole thing. But I was like, dude, like, I love this house. And the lot was massive. Obviously, you guys have seen from the first tour, like, the lot is huge. And we're like, dude, like, you cannot get land like this anywhere. So I looked to my mom and I was like, what do you think? And she was just like, this is insane. Like 2 days ago, you were dead set on not moving, and now you're like potentially moving, or like are interested in moving. So we were talking to Maressa, and she was like crunching numbers, and she talked to the listing agent, and she was like, okay, this is a hot ticket item. And at this point, it had only been on the market for four days, maybe 5. It was brand new listing. The house isn't even done yet. And she's like, yeah, there's multiple offers. Some of them are all cash. So if you want, you're gonna have to get a loan approved by tomorrow and then submit an offer within 36 hours. And I was like, what? You were not happy. I remember you were so stressed out. Well, you were just like, Jess, like, no, like this is
because like neither of us knew how to like go about any of this. Yeah. And then the other thing was like, because so when Jess came to me about it, it was like one random night, and I was like, yeah, it's a beautiful home, whatever, cool, like, you know, it's just not the time to do it right now, whatever. And then I think it was Louise, my mother-in-law, she came to me and she goes, yeah, I agree with you, like, maybe it's not the time. I'm like, yeah, exactly.
I'm also a very like I'm an impulsive, what is it?
Buyer?
No, I just act very impulsively sometimes, and
Like very quickly on things.
yeah, like I don't think things through, and I go by instinct. And like 85% of the time, like it's really good. Only about 15% am I just like, dang it, like I really should have thought that one through a little bit. And even me,
All right, let me continue, lady.
Okay.
Jeez.
Whatever. Butthole.
And then so when Jess's mom, my mother-in-law, came to me, and we kind of agreed that yeah, it wasn't the right time, but then 24 hours later, this was like before that Monday or whatever. That was like, I guess, the Sunday. So then 24 hours later on the Monday, Jess called me into the room with her and her mom, and she goes, "So, we gotta talk to you." I'm like, "What about? What's going on?" And she's like, "I think we're gonna go see the house tomorrow." I'm like, "Okay." And then even my mother-in-law was like, "We're just gonna go see it. She just wants to see it. We're just gonna go see it." All right, cool. Like, we'll just go see it. Like, no big deal. And it wasn't that like we're not ready to buy it. It's just that I think it's just overwhelming, like the idea of buying a home, because we don't know what
we don't know anything about really anything.
We don't have the knowledge behind that stuff. So I figured it'd be, well, my mentality behind this is that like, hey, we're gonna spend some time getting to know the field of like real estate, know what we gotta do, kind of things to look for, stuff like that, and then kind of like take our time, getting something at that point. Well, then we go and go see the home. It is absolutely beautiful. Jess is right. It wasn't that I wasn't happy. I was just kind of like in shock that I'm like, what the heck's going on? I was more of like, what the heck's going on type of deal. And then I realized like, dang, this is crazy. Like, once the details were starting to sink in, and like the legalities and like the numbers, stuff like that started to sink in, and you start to realize like, we're absolutely blessed with what we were buying. So it was almost like there's no way you cannot do this right now. If there's opportunity to do it, now's the time to do it. And so that's when it kind of started hitting me in the heart, like, okay, God, is this actually what you want? And then one thing after another, kind of just opening up the doors, and then
we were literally like, if this is not meant to be, the door will close very quickly. And Marissa is she's a big believer too, and she even said the same. She's like, I've been doing real estate for a bajillion years. Like, if it's not God's will, a door will close. And mind you, I had not looked at one house before this. This was literally the only house we looked at. And I had flashbacks of when we went ring shopping initially. And remember, we only went. Yeah.
That's why I was like, no. If you don't know that story.
So, long story boring, when we went to go initially get my ring, like, I had never looked at rings before. I just wasn't your typical bride. I didn't have a million Pinterest boards saved of like dream wedding. I was just like, okay, when it comes, I'll figure it out, And we went ring shopping. We went to literally Jared's, like, cause again, I had no idea anything. And I just saw a ring and I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. Like, yeah, I guess that's it. Like, let's just get that one. And then I was just like, why? Like, why?
And I got suckered in. I got suckered in.
And it's not that I didn't like the ring, but I was just like, I like, now looking back, I'm like, I don't even like that. Like, why did I do that? And I mean, not luckily, like, sadly, I did lose that ring, but now I have the stunning babe. But anyways, so I had flashbacks of that because I was like, oh my God, like, is this gonna be another engagement ring episode where I see a house and then I'm just like, yes. And then maybe something better is gonna come along or whatever. And I lost a little bit of sleep, but something deep down at the end of the day, like, it would not let me let go of the house. And again, one thing after the other that really, like, we thought, okay, there's no way this is gonna get approved. Income sheets, whatever, all that stuff. Nothing was really like in our favor, but everything just kept going in our favor.
It was just God.
It was 100,000%
And that's
God.
the only way I could describe, like, for me, as far as like having peace of mind over it too, because it was so much like so much to do in so little time, and it was so unrealistic that
Oh my
it was
God,
going to happen our way.
a headache.
But at the same time, like, it just came to a point where I just, all right, I'm giving this up. If God wants this to happen, then it's like, all right, then cool, then, you know, and sure enough, like, I just felt like God was like, yeah, this is your home. So
yeah, that's how we got there. And then Marissa just kind of got thrown in the mix of it all. And she's like, okay, like, let me contact, She made her phone calls, and then she just kind of like became our buying agent without even us like approaching her. It was just so funny how it all worked out, but we were also so blessed because like Marissa knows that territory like the back of her hand. And so many things that we would have never in a million years even thought to ask, to like consider. So like there's so many things, and she knew.
Putting it short, like we learned as we went along because of her.
Yeah.
Like she taught us almost
so much.
She taught us a lot. And if it wasn't for her, like, I don't know where we would be at.
And I really feel like she went way beyond what a normal agent would, regardless of the fact that we are her friends. Like, I still feel like, I know she still takes care of her other clients that way, because like that's just the type of person Marissa is, you know, the way she does her work. Like it was just so nuts. Like, she really took care of us, and that, again, I was forever grateful, because for sure, like, me and Tyler, first time home buyers, like, we don't know what we're doing. We would have gotten taken advantage of, maybe overpaid, or like not have gotten like as good interest rates. Like, there's just so many things. So Marissa really just was like our mother goose in this situation.
She's our golden ticket.
Yeah, for sure.
Definitely our golden ticket. So, but yeah, I mean.
So do you want to talk about, okay, so then now we're also going to talk about just like what it was like living at home, why we, you know, just the whole situation. I know some people may be embarrassed about it. Initially, like, not that we were embarrassed, because
I was embarrassed.
You weren't embarrassed. For me, it was just like, I grew up in this home. Like, I didn't want to stay in this home, but, and I'll let you talk for the rest of the time.
Good
but
idea.
One good thing that really came out of us living at home for the last 2.5 years was that it really allowed me to develop a relationship with my parents, but like mainly my mom. I had talked about this in my my testimony video, but like growing up, I was just never close to my parents. I never really had a relationship with them, and really I didn't start becoming like, I just didn't really have any relationship with my mom up until like after we got married, I think.
I think we're at that time.
Yeah, like,
started changing.
So 28 years, you know, it was more so just like, she told me what to do, I did it. Like, it was just like, literally, I don't know if it's an Asian culture thing, but we just had no relationship. And so being able to live here, like, that really allowed for that to happen. And had we moved, I probably still wouldn't have a relationship with her. But now I like love my mom, and like I go to her for advice. Like, we talk like
Not
friends.
that she didn't love her before.
Well, yeah, I didn't love her before, but it's just, it's such a different relationship.
You didn't love her before.
No.
Well, yeah, I didn't love her before.
No, I said it's not that I didn't love her before, but it's just a completely different relationship, and it's the relationship that I always wanted, that like I always saw my friends have with their moms, but like I just never did. And so that was, for that in itself was like just justified for me living here another extra 2.5 years. Like,
yeah,
I didn't even care. But take it away, buddy.
Yeah, I don't think that anyone should be embarrassed of living at home. I think it's, especially nowadays, I think everyone gets caught up in this whole like worldly view of like, you have to own land, you have to go buy a bunch of things,
or you have to
go buy,
have your own apartment by this age. Whatever.
Hi, baby.
But yeah, I think that people just get caught up in the worldly view of that you have to go and buy a ton of nice things, and you know, it's that type of reputation is what counts at the end of the day, and I didn't like that at all. And I think now more than ever, I think times have changed to a point where I think that if you live at home, it's like, good for you, man. That's sick.
You're saving a ton of money.
Yeah, because like we did, and you know, fortunately for, like Jess was saying, like it allowed her to develop a stronger relationship with her parents, but it allowed me too to get closer with them as well through that time. But I mean, I never had an issue with like getting to know your mom or dad or anything like that. I think it was just, I think bigger in the sense of our marriage, and I think that it allowed us to do a lot more things early in our marriage than we actually think, and without stress. And I think that's a gigantic blessing, because I think there are like newly married couples who get tossed in the financial fire right away, and it tests their marriage immediately. We didn't have that test. Yeah. So I think it really like set us up really well of like, hey, like you guys have 3 years to kind of just get your, you know, your money in order, and then, you know, go from there. But I think it's really just about like keeping that biblical mindset of like, hey, God has me here right now. Why does he have me here? And I think we figured that out, and we just made the most of it. And honestly, I'm not gonna lie to you, once we move, I think I'm gonna have some homesickness like here at the same time.
I know, I love it. I low-key was thinking about it.
I love
was
it
like,
here. I really do. I just
like the days that you work, I'm probably just gonna drive here and just like hang out like with my mom.
Yeah, I think it's great. I mean, this is a great home. Like this was really our first home, you know?
Yeah. And everyone, so a lot of new followers were like, wait, what do you mean homeowners? Like, we thought you owned your home. And it was just too much to go into everything, because it is a long story.
People don't, not necessarily that, but it's not like you have to go into a full story to explain it, but people don't really need to know like where we live or why we live where we live right now.
And like I said, I already put a blog post out
business
about
or
it
anything
like
like
2 years ago. So
it's not like we're bragging or anything either. It's just, hey, this is where we live. Like, cool. Like, you know, we made, and I think that's what it is. Like, people maybe think that we live in a big house or whatever. Cool, but it's because we made the most of where we live at the same time. And I think that goes for anybody. Like, you make the most of where you're at, then, you know, then that's what you're gonna show people. You did too, you know. And I think it's, I don't know. That's just my opinion, my belief, I guess.
I don't follow anything you just. What do you mean make the most?
Because I'm saying, like, you know, I think because we made the most of living here. Like, you didn't want to live here, but we made the most of our opportunity living here. And I think that also goes to show, like, in the long run, like, people are, like, see that we're making the most of it here, and they're thinking, like, oh, we're already homeowners in a sense.
Oh, yeah.
I think that makes sense. It makes sense in my mind. It may not make sense to any of you listening to this, but it makes sense to me.
No, it does.
Know. That's just my personal opinion. Yeah. I just think that because of a biblical standpoint, God had us here for a reason. Yeah. Make the most of it. Yeah. There's no reason to be like, I don't want to live here anymore. No, like, I'm actually gonna miss this place a lot. Like, it'll be, and I think that's part of the other reason why at first too I was like kind of skeptical of like buying this house. I was like, no, I like this place. Like,
yeah, I just don't. But I don't want to be stuck here forever. You know.
Yeah, I want to live here.
And that's another thing too. Is like, I feel like there's a fine line between being somewhere momentarily and then getting comfortable and just kind of staying. And I do feel like we were starting to get comfortable, and that's something that I didn't want us to get used to.
No, but at the same time, I think it wasn't that we were getting comfortable, but I think it got to a point where you're like, hey, I think we're now getting to a point where it may be time to grow.
We just really need to be adulting.
Yeah, but that goes to show the opportunity we had by saving money while we were here.
So if you guys, I mean, if that's something that's like kind of,
if you have the opportunity to go save money and live with like your parents or other family members, do it, because it's worth it. And
however, but you can't say that for everyone though, because a lot of people don't have.
Well, to each their own.
To each their own, and like the family dynamics may be weird. Yeah. But
I don't know that. Only they can decide that for themselves. I'm just saying, if the opportunity is there and it works for them, then so be it. Do it.
Yeah.
There's no reason to feel embarrassed about it. In fact, it's freaking awesome. I love my in-laws. I consider them my parents.
And it's like the best thing that honestly, like,
and I'm white.
I feel like had we like gotten our own place, like it really would have set us back. and we wouldn't have been able to become homeowners so quickly. And so, I mean, this was God's plan the entire time. So like, it just worked out so well. And
absolutely, 100% agree.
Yeah.
And you can't argue that because it's evident of like what he did, how everything played out.
Yeah.
And for that, we're forever grateful. So, but we are pumped beyond belief on this new place. Dude, every day I go over there, the more and more it sinks in and hits me too. And it's like, it really was like an overwhelming shock. For me at first, I was like, dude, like, because people would be like, aren't you pumped? Aren't you excited? I'm like, yeah, but I'm like, it hasn't hit me though yet, you know? Like, it's still, I don't even know if it's still fully even hit me yet. I don't think it has at all. You know, it's like,
I don't think it will until we're like, we're there.
Yeah, it's just crazy.
Yeah, because we're not moved in yet.
You know, it's absolutely incredible what God provided us with over there. And, you know, I can just, the opportunities that we have to do with it and to have people there and, I don't know, just a bunch of stuff. Like, I just envision, like, I always envision...
Battery's gonna run out. I'll wrap it up.
Envision, like, 5 years down the line, 10 years down the line, even 20 years down the line, what that place is gonna look like. It's just absolutely be beautiful.
Yeah, guys, you guys are, anyone who is starting this home journey with us now, you are going to see this house develop,
play through, and it's gonna be
so cool. Like, I'm so excited for you guys.
It's gonna be sick.
As much as I am for us, because
sick.
Okay, we get it. Like, it's going, you know, we're just I was gonna say that.
We love you guys. Thanks for listening. Bye.
No, but just, you know, eventually, like, having our parents move into their little additional unit in the back, us having kids, seeing the kids grow up, like, seeing the backyard become this oasis, and, like, just a place for, like, all our friends' kids to come over. Like, it's just, you guys are literally gonna see us grow into this. It's like a Keeping Up with the Kardashians, like, not in like that, but, you know, like, seeing them grow up, like, as a family. Like, I feel like that's just gonna be how it's gonna be with our home here.
Sure.
So I'm really excited.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Anyways, all right, guys. Okay, wait.
What?
Okay, guys, so this will wrap up this portion. We are going to go over to the Regalados. That's Marissa's last name. We're gonna go over to their house, I don't know, sometime this week, and then we'll kind of do a little intro for her. And yeah. Peace. Okay, here we go.
Oh shoot, wait, so what do I say?
I'll just, like, prompt you into it. I like
just gonna look at you.
Okay, yeah. Okay, guys, so this is Marissa. This is her in all her glory. This is our realtor. So again, like I had mentioned, our husbands knew each other, and when we just started hanging out as, like, families once a week, right?
Yeah.
And I wasn't even asking you about, like, being our potential realtor.
No.
You just kind of, like, knew the area, and
I did, and then, like, you randomly called me or texted me out of the blue.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember that.
Yeah, no,
like,
I do.
Texted me out of the blue, and you're like, what about this house? Or something like that. And I'm like, wait, what? I was like, you really want to buy a house? I don't know if you remember that.
No,
And then you're
I
like,
do.
I kind of was looking in Costa Mesa, but what about this house? I was like, is she serious?
Oh, so that's what it was. So we both had this, like, dream of, like, okay, we're gonna eventually end up in Costa Mesa. So that's how we started just talking about homes. And I knew she sold homes, but again, we were not in the mindset of wanting to buy. So I was just like, whatever, but we would show each other listings.
Yeah.
And I think when I discovered the listing, I just shot it to you because I'm like, this is your territory.
You really did. And then I said that property was, like, insane.
Yeah.
And I've been watching that whole land be developed for years, and that they bought out all the farmhouses and all the horse property, and I was like, dude, that's like land. You can't buy land.
And you knew the seller too.
I did. She was one of my mentors growing up.
So
so she was amazing. She was amazing. I, like, worshipped her. So to do a deal with her again, because I've done many deals with her, but when you know somebody in the industry, it's really cool, because then it's really important for your agent to know other agents and to respect each other, because in this market, when it's so competitive, if you have that upper hand of having a relationship, you want to do a deal with an agent you've done before. So
Yeah.
I wanted to do
It gave us an edge.
Yeah, such a.
But it was what you literally said, do you want to just go look at it? Was it that?
Is that what I did?
I think you were like, hey, let's just go look at it. And at first I was like, what?
It was such a long escrow. I'm like, wait, what?
But I think more so I just said yes because you were like, just get into the rhythm of looking at homes.
Knocking on doors.
Tyler and, okay, so they're right here right now, and they're for sure
So annoying.
making fun of us.
Annoying.
Why are you laughing?
With your phones and your candy.
Why are you laughing?
I promise you we're not.
Whatever. You guys are
We're
so fake.
communicating through gifts right now.
Whatever. You guys are making fun of us.
No, we're not.
Anyways.
You're so stupid.
You guys are dumb.
What's this one?
Oh my gosh.
Okay. But anyways.
Okay, so we just popped in at that house.
Yeah.
So it was, I can get the combo box.
Yeah.
Let's go. I can
And
show it on my story, which is great.
and we walked in and I was like,
Yeah, died. Because it was like single story.
yeah.
Huge ceilings.
Everything
What are they,
that I
like
wanted.
15-foot ceilings?
Yeah.
So it was, and then like immediately I saw your vision. I was like, oh my gosh, totally just like the ambiance. But then we looked at the other 3 new builds, and the one above was like, ooh. I think I even got it on my story where you're like,
I was like, I was like, I don't like, nah.
yeah, you
not
said
a fan.
something like, I don't like this. Right when I was like showing everybody live, I was like, shh, quiet. And that was super congested. And then there was the other one next door, which was like 4 bedrooms over there in that cut in the corner.
I hope my neighbors don't see this video. They're gonna think we're trash. It's not like we don't like, it's just, it's not my style and vibe. That's it.
It wasn't the flow wasn't there. Yours is like open spread, single story, just so bright and airy. So I love that.
And I think when we saw that, just convo started, and it kind of just led to like, okay, Maressa actually, Maressa, I always say Marissa, sorry. Maressa, it's M-A-R-E-S-S-A. She just knew so much about everything. Like you were just spitting so many things that I would never even think about. Like she even brought up oak trees and how oak trees are an issue. And she's like, yeah, like eventually you're not gonna want oak trees because they do this to your roof and blah, 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 blah.
They drip sap in from July, August, September, and tons of acorns, and you think that your oak tree is sick, but it's not. It's just that's when they do that, and it ruins your roof, and then just ruins your outdoor patio furniture, everything. I mean, I'm like literally scrubbing the floors all the time outside with my oak tree. I can't stand oak trees.
Yeah, and I was like,
and you can't just cut them down. They're preserved, so.
I don't even know what an oak tree looks like.
Yeah. Oh, just wait.
Is it just, it's such a common tree?
It's the one that's right outside my door. Right here.
Oh.
Yeah, and they have, they're very, they're really full.
Yeah. See, I would just look at that and be like, oh, pretty, like a big, pretty tree.
They're gorgeous.
Yeah.
But no,
But
because you
they're so
can't
bad
cut
for
them down either. So, I mean, I have another client who he hated his oak tree, but he knew that the city, you have to call the preservation, company and all that, and they only allow you to trim a certain amount from your rooftop. So he went out in the middle of the night and like literally like took a saw to it. I was like, oh my gosh, and then he just burned it off.
Oh my god.
So yeah, I'll show you what an oak tree is like.
But yeah.
What else did I know?
Well, even when we were in the escrow process, there were so many things during like the, not really renovation, but just, when things were getting done, me and Tyler, if we didn't have you, we would have just been like, oh yeah, that looks fine. Marissa's like, nope, this is wrong, you need to double check this is incorrect, da-da-da. And like, I guess one of the workers was trying to kind of, not like take advantage of Tyler and I, but even like when he first approached Marissa, kind of like, oh, who are you? Like, yeah, I'm this person. And Marissa was like, actually, and she started name dropping all these people. The guy got checked so quick and he was like, oh shoot, like I'm dealing with like a legit person. And it's just, she's so well connected. She just knows everything about everything. And we're like, oh my God, we're in such good hands. Like,
that's true.
Yeah.
That was God. But that does happen a lot. So you just got to make sure that your realtor is, you always take a card, you always repeat someone's names back, and I've always done that in my career. So I knew the city planner, I knew who the builder was, I knew who the people were down the street. I knew how long they were trying to do this. I already knew like piping and what happens in that area. So
like the flood, like flooding,
flood
everything.
zones.
Like it was just like I don't know. It was just it's insane.
Yeah.
And I feel like you don't get that very often. And then you knew everything about school districts and schools, school options.
Super important.
And even like superintendents and all the, council people, like you just.
I did. I don't want to like brag. I'm like,
no, but I'm
I
just serious. I'm
did.
like, that's why, it's ended up being such a blessing. And that's why if you guys are looking to sell or buy, you need to use her because she just knows what she's doing. And if you didn't, no offense, but I probably wouldn't have this second for you. But because I really want to put you out there because you really are just like a freaking shining star. That's why we're doing this.
Thank you. Well, I think my biggest advice is that you want to just make sure that you ask your realtor questions. You can tell if your realtor really knows what they're doing or if they're just trying to get that offer accepted and open and close that escrow. So your realtor should go above and beyond. They should be researching permits. They should be taking you with them. You've got to see everything. If they don't know the answer to something, they should feel comfortable saying, I don't know, but I will find out for you. So that's something that my life coach always told me. And I think that in the 15 years I've been doing this, every deal, like also a realtor that acts as if like they got it, that's not true. Like you learn something from every transaction. So I think that kind of reflects every time I take on new clients. I kind of try to transfer that into the new one and just be open and take care of you guys. So I hope I was able to do that.
You were, and she would be working till like 2 in the morning. I'd be getting texts, be like, hey, so like, just want to make sure this is done and this, and I'm just like what? You know what I mean? Like she doesn't stop. And that's when I was like, dude, she's so bomb. She's not sleeping for us. And yeah.
Every client's like a 30-day increment of like, you don't sleep. And then yours was like, holy crap, it's like 71 days. And I'm not sleeping.
Oh my God.
Because I would like wake up, it'd be like 7:30. I'm all, gotta check this email, this one, that one. Because Jess is really busy and Tyler, I don't know his schedule. So, okay, there we go. So it was like, it was a long it was like 71 days, right? 72?
60, 65.
69, 65?
Yeah, it was very long.
But it was great.
Yeah. And so you have sold in Orange County. You're very familiar with Orange County. You're very familiar with like North OC too.
Yeah, Orange County, but more like North Orange County from like Newport to like Fullerton, Yorba Linda, Anaheim Hills. And then a lot of the foothills.
Okay.
And a lot of San Bernardino and Riverside counties.
Yeah.
Most realtors need to have like, I call it a big net. So when someone goes, oh, I just specialize in this area, they can, but the average buyer moves 45 minutes away from where they currently live, or they commute. So they're always transferring locations. So just make sure your realtor, if they don't know that area, it's okay, but make sure your realtor's doing the work to study it and just get the information that you need to make a sound decision so that you can cancel within 21 days and get your deposit back.
Or you can just use her because she knows every territory.
Use me. Use me.
And then you'll be fine. And you don't have to worry about that. So, anyway.
For what I'm pitching me. I'm like, but I can help you.
See, and that's why you're so
or we can use her and just be like, yeah, we're done here.
Yeah.
What?
She can just be like, we're done here.
I don't get it.
Never mind.
Okay.
Of course she doesn't.
Anyways, so just wanted to do that quick little intro for you guys. No judgment-free zone. I would have a drink too.
No judgment free.
I mean, judgment-free zone. No judgment zone.
I was just like,
but I will drop her info at the bottom, and then I'll put it again in the caption, and then also leave her Instagram too if you guys are interested in hitting her up. And
yay! Wow, thank you.
Of course.
This is special.
Okay, guys. Well, we'll see you guys next time.
Bye.
Hey, don't stalk her.
What?